Hi, in this episode of Toysbackzen, we're going to be taking this classified Firefly and we're going to try to make him look like the vintage Firefly. Here I've got the 3 3/4 inch, and I do like this figure. Like I said in my previous videos, I do find him to be a little bit of a different construction compared to the newer ones that they're making now here at the end of 2022. The newer ones are a little bit more bulky. The joints seem to be tighter. They also look like the vintage style ones instead of trying to update them with different accessories, different vests, different guns. This gun here, I think, is supposed to be like a Nerf gun of some sort. I'm sure that's not a gun that you would see in the real world. So I'm going to try to see. I got my parts box here. I'm hoping I can find a gun that might look exactly like this, but I'm hoping I can find some kind of gun that we can add to this guy to make him look more realistic. I'm also taking this off. We're going to be using parts of this vest, especially the grenades on his shoulders. And we're going to use the belt here, and I'm going to cut the bottom off. And we're going to be making his bandoliers here, or his straps across his chest. And I'm going to do that using this. This is a 1998, 1999, I believe it's a Max Steel under the arm holster. And I think this will be perfect. It's got relatively the same kind of rubber that G.I. Joe Classifieds is using on their figures. And it's got lots of texture to it. I like that. I'm going to be cutting this up and making the straps to go all the way around his chest and down his back. So I'm hoping that I can use these. I want to use these here. These are extra, I think, cartridges for his weapon. And I want to use, like I said, the grenades on his shoulder. Everything else is going to go on his chest. His gun is going to go, if I can find one that's better than... It's not going to be exactly like this, but it'll be better than what he's got. I also, I do like, I really like the vintage backpack, but I'm not going to try to make this backpack. I guess I could, but I don't really feel like it's necessary to make the backpack because he's got some really cool accessories here. His backpack isn't bad. It's got some tools in there. He's got some TNT that comes off, so that's cool. I'm going to keep that. And he's got a drone right here that plugs in. So I think the drone is really cool. He also has a tablet. I think it's probably like a remote for the drone. I don't have that here. It's upstairs. But anyway, we're going to keep those because I think they're nice updates to this figure. But I really think that this vest has to go. So take his goggles off here. So I'm going to get this vest off. I'm just going to cut it off, cut all these pieces off, and then I'm going to make the two straps using this. It should be pretty easy, a little bit of glue, and we'll see what happens. Now, before I do that, let's look in my parts bin here and see if I can find some weapons that might look good with him. A lot of cool parts in here. So most of these parts, I don't know what they are. I think that's mask. It's a mask canopy. Got some legs. I'm not sure is that Star Wars? Anyway, this isn't a video on what are my parts, Masters of the Universe. I'm just looking to see if I can find some cool guns that are a little bit better than what he's got. too big. That's cool, but I think that's too big too. That might work. That's kind of a 6-inch style weapon. I'm not sure where it's from, but I'm sure somebody could tell me. That's kind of a cool weapon too, kind of an Uzi. Now his original gun had a silencer on it. That's a little bit too futuristic. Not a gun. I think we can use those two that I just found. Not sure which one yet. I really like this one, but I think it's a little too small. But I think this gun here is going to be perfect. Oh yeah, I think that's going to be awesome. I think that looks really good. Let's see what this one looks like. That actually fits in his hand pretty good too. Maybe he'll get both. We'll have to see. So now this one's gone. I don't have to use that one anymore. I will keep it though. Okay, so let's cut this off now that we got him weaponized and customize it. That wasn't too bad, and I noticed that he doesn't have the camouflage on his chest, so we're gonna have to do a little bit of painting, get that white and gray camouflage, or maybe it's like a light gray and a dark gray camouflage, before we get him all suited back up again. But we'll do that after. So let's get this over here. Now that I've got all the extra plastic cut off and all the pieces that I'm planning on using from the vest, now we can actually start cutting up the straps to go across his chest. Now the reason why I'm using this instead of using a different kind of rubber, I could probably bought some at the dollar store and cut this out, is it's got a texture to it, and I like that. Classifieds has a lot of texture. The belts, the guns, the holsters, his clothes, everything has texture on these things. I think this will actually be really similar to the rubbery plastic they are using today. It feels just like it. So I cut this in half. I didn't do it precisely, but that's okay because I don't want these to be too wide. And I'm going to probably use some scissors or a straight edge, even though these kind of have a curve to them. But I'll use a straight edge and try to cut that a little bit better. So we'll try to do that. I'm going to do that off camera, cut that a little bit more evenly, and then we'll come back and see. Now I've cut those straps. I'll show you those in a minute, but I've got some coffee here and I'm going to get in some painting. I've got to paint the camouflage on his chest and the top part of his pants, round his neck a little bit too, and a little bit on his shoulders. They left all the paint out everywhere where the chest part was, and the flaps that came down over his crotch and his butt. So I'm going to use some Vallejo paints here, just some black and some white. I'm going to get the light gray and the dark gray. Then I'll put some varnish over top of it to protect the paint. So here I've done some cutting off camera, and I'm going to show you what I cut. So everything off of this, I cut the grenades, I cut these buckles, which I thought were cool. I cut these, which I think are just pouches, but I think they will look good across his chest like this, because on the original figure he's got pouches there, so we're going to put those across his chest. This is a little big. I might actually cut this and just put 3 so they're not so far down. I've got him all painted. If you look at that, he's got his camouflage all the way across. I also have cut that strap that we had for the 12-inch figure, and now we have a couple straps. I've also taken his belt here, and when you cut the belt off of this chest piece, it's way too big for around his waist. He does already have a belt underneath, but I need this belt to connect these straps. So what I have done is I cut probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 segments off of the belt, and then I just reattached it here with some crazy glue, and it's pretty strong. But when I bring the strap across, I will also crazy glue it to there. That way it keeps that bond strong there, so it'll be extra strong. This will go all the way across like this. These are a little too large, but this will go across here like that, and then attach here like that. And on the back, I did leave a couple of these here. I thought they looked cool. I cut one off in the front. That's where we're going to attach this. Like I said, I think I'm just going to use 3 of these. I'll also use a buckle if I need to. If it's too much, then I won't use it. But then on the other side, I'll be putting these on the strap. I also made this. This is going to be a silencer for that. I've painted it black. I just made it from this. I've used this in the past before. This hard plastic tube. So I have that. I'm going to use that for a silencer because he had a silencer on his original gun, but I think this is really cool. This is a really cool gun. I'm going to be using this for it. That's in there really tight. I'm not even going to glue that in. That'll be perfect for that. I think that's on there really nice. I think it's the right size. So I found a walkie-talkie. I just took the little pin that was on the Nerf gun that came with the figure, and I glued it to the walkie-talkie. That way I can fasten the walkie-talkie onto the backpack. Okay, so here's the figure. It's all dry. The paint is dry. The varnish is dry. And I've also got the gun. I painted the gun. It's got that camouflage green. Reminiscent of the original gun, and he also has a lot of really cool things. We've got pouches here for his extra ammo. We've got the 2 straps. with the 3 grenades, a little buckle here. We turn it around, and he still has his backpack with the detachable drone. And then the backpack does go on really well even with the straps. We have the pad that goes in here for the remote, I think probably for the drone, so that fits right in there. And the thing that I added to it was, instead of the Nerf gun fitting onto here, we've got a walkie-talkie, or a satellite phone is what I'm kind of calling it. It fits right in there, and it's that same green. So when I heard we were getting Firefly in the Classified series, I was really excited, and this is mostly how I envisioned what he was going to look like. When I found out that he did not look like that, I was kind of disappointed, but I still wanted to get him anyway, and I'm glad I made these changes, and I'm glad I did this custom the way that I wanted to see it. Even though he doesn't have the same backpack and the same accessories like they're doing now in the fourth quarter of 2022, I'm really happy that I was able to get this guy and make him look the way I think that he should have looked. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of this custom figure. Or do you like how Hasbro has updated him? Thanks for watching, and see you later.